Hello everyone, I'm Buford MC, and welcome back to another episode of GregTech New Horizons. So, today what we're going to do is I want to get into some crop breeding. And as you can see behind me, I've already prepared a couple of plots of land for that exact purpose. So I've already done one of them, and the other one we're going to do together. So what we're going to do is we're going to jump right into it. So, as you can see in this little fenced-in area over here, we've got our areas already prepared. Now this one, as I said, I've already done a little bit of. This one we're going to do together to kind of show you how to come up with this. Now, the reason it looks like this, and that we've got this little kind of, I suppose you can say checkerboard pattern, is that I followed what the quest book kind of recommends. So if we go to the quest book, and we go to this quest right here, Moron's Manual to Fecund Farms, which we did complete this quest a little while ago. We only needed to get a bit of crop sticks and just a couple of basic seeds. So in this quest, there's quite a bit of text involved that kind of explains to you quite a few different things. Now, it mentions, for now, make 3x1 plots separated by a row of dirt or cobble. You want to be able to see the center of each column of 3x1 plots all at once like this. And it gives you this kind of little diagram here where the F is the soil, the D is just dirt, cobblestone or something, and then the W in the middle is your water source block, which is fertilizing all the land around it. So that's exactly what I did. I've gone around here and I've made these little kind of rows of 3. So we have 3 kind of farm plots, 3 just regular grass, 3 more farm plots, and we just go down this entire plot of land over here. And we're going to do that same thing over here so I can show you as I make this one over here. Now, the purpose of doing this is for when you do crop breeding, you don't want to lose your crops because there is a chance if you don't tend to your crops, they can develop into weeds, just like this one right here. Now, with weeds, all you have to do is just break the crop stick, place it back down, and with crops, in particular with crop breeding, what you want to do is you want to place down 2 different crops. So in this case, we've got the cocoa beans. I put these here, and I've got this one says reed, but this is sugar canes. And you put a double crop stick in the middle once they're near or if they're fully completed. These are fully completed at this point. And you just put the double crop stick in the middle. And sometimes it'll turn into a weed or something, and other times you'll get an actual crop. So as you can see, I've already been working on quite a few things over here. Now, if you come over here, you can tell that we've got this one over here with vines, and we're working with wheat on this side. And in the middle, we've got something, but we don't know what it is yet because I haven't made the plant lens yet, but we are going to do that today, and we're going to kind of discover some of this stuff around here. So with this crop over here, we can just kind of see that we've got a bunch of them around, and we can just figure out what we're going to need to do with these. Because we don't know what this is yet. I have no idea what that one is. We could break it, but we'll only get an unknown seed. I'm not sure which one that is. Sometimes you can tell what they are by just looking at them. For example, this one you can see, this is just vines. So what you can do with a completed crop is you can either left-click it or right-click it. A right-click is just going to harvest it. You'll just get a chance of the drops. You're not guaranteed to get them. But the crop will just start growing again. A left click will actually break the crop, and you will actually have a chance to get a seed from it. So let's do that. And as you can see, we got both. So you can get the actual drop as well. But in this case, we got the actual seed. Now, we didn't actually check what this was ahead of time, so it comes out as an unknown seed. So when we get the plant lens, that shouldn't happen. But I do have a chest over here for unknown seeds. I've already been working on this. And in fact, we actually completed a quest a little while ago in the fishing, farming, cooking tab for first breeding. So I got 8 unknown seeds, and that completed this quest. Now, could go with the nether wart. Don't think we can get to the nether right now, so let's do that. Let's get some nether wart. There we go. That completes that quest. Now, there is another quest that we have now to get 32 unknown seeds. Now, you could do the unknown seeds route, or I did discover any old seed is actually going to work. So what we can actually do to kind of cheat in that quest, I suppose, a little bit, is I can just come here to these oak bonsais, because these are the same exact things. They're just crops. They're the same exact kind of function, except these are just growing. We're not breeding these up. So I can just come here and start breaking these, and once I get around 32 of these, this should complete the quest. So let's do that. And I can just replant these afterwards anyway, so no real harm here. These are easy to come by. Just put a sapling down to get these. once we get to 32, that should tick off that other quest as well. Yep, there it is. And I can just start planting these back down again. Yeah, and you do have to be careful though, because when you do leave these unattended, they do develop into weeds. Even if you're not breeding them, so you don't want to leave crop sticks unattended. So this is kind of a manual job. You have to really babysit these crops. Of course, if you've got something on them like these, you don't need to worry about that. But if you just got, you know, bare crop sticks, you do need to tend to those. Let's put saplings for the rest. Break you. And plant the rest. Now, over here, I've actually been using this just to kind of test a couple of different crops. So I've been growing some more pumpkins over here, and we've got melons over there. So over here, I'm just going to gather a couple of pumpkins. So there we go. And over here, we can get a couple of melons as well. Now, this one's interesting because you can get the slices, or you can get the full block. So in this case, we got some of the full blocks of melons, which is kind of cool. So what we're going to do next is I want to get this kind of area set up, and we're going to use that for a couple of specific things. But before we do that, let's go clear out our inventory because it is quite a bit full. Now, we are going to also make that plant lens today as well, and that's going to help us to identify some of our crops as we kind of progress through this crop breeding thing, because it is quite a time-consuming process, and it's something we're going to be doing for quite a while. So let's put some of this wood away. Let's go run over here and put some of these other things away as well. Coins can go over here. Ooh, we just got another heart. Ooh, that's quite good. It's always good to eat more foods. I've been taking advantage of that food we made recently. We've still got quite a bit of it left in here, but I've got quite a good amount of food right now. This is some quite good food. And it is nighttime, so let's go to sleep. Alright, so let's put these melons away. I'm not sure what to do with these. These are just the actual, like, melon blocks. Guess I can put them... Yeah, let's put them in here for now. Same with another what. Cocoa beans will go in here. So I've been just using a bunch of different type of things I have around. I've been using vines, potatoes, carrots, and various different things. Now, some of these I am going to want to keep on me because for this next kind of plot of crop breeding area, I have a little bit of a plan. Actually, I want those. Keep the pumpkins in here for now. And let's put the apples away as well. So I want to keep these on me because I have a little bit of a plan for what I want to do here. Alright, so let's head back down. And let's make sure we've got our crop sticks. So we're going to set up this kind of plot area over here. And also I do need to make sure I check on these as well. So let's do that first because you don't want to leave these too unattended. But by building it like this, you can minimize the casualties a bit. So it is quite good to do it this way just in case. In fact, I need to put another thing on that one. Now, I will point out, this is a really weird plant right here. I don't know what it is. It's some sort of like a fish plant or something, but I'm not sure what it is. But when you get really close to it, it makes this really horrible and really loud noise. So I will give you a noise warning now just in case I get too close to it, but I won't do that right now. But we are going to find out what that is once we get that plant lens. But before we do that, let's get this little area here set up. So simply what we're going to do is just kind of do this little checkerboard pattern. So we'll do 3 like that. We'll leave these kind of alone, and then 3 more here. And then here, we'll just do the 3, and we'll just keep going like that. Now, I find it quite useful to put this lily pad here in the middle block here. That way I can just walk over this instead of falling into the tiny little water hole and then have to climb on out. Now, another thing you want to be careful about in these areas, and the reason I fenced this off is because these are kind of tender. If you jump on them, you can break your entire crop. You can break basically the entire thing. If you jump on it, even running over it, I think, can actually harm these as well. So you do want to be very careful around these, and you do want to protect them from animals around the area. For example, around here, we get quite a bit of ocelots that spawn in. I don't really want them to mess this up, so we fence this area in. And yeah, that's how you get that part done. So what we're going to do is I want to try and breed together vines and pumpkin seeds because I have kind of a plan on how I want to proceed with the crop breeding. There was a specific thing I want to get, and that thing is called stickweed. Now, there is a way you can find out what you can get by breeding different crops together. For example, we can look at this little tab here, IC2 crop breeding, and it gives you kind of a couple of options on what can give you something. So, for example, we want to get stickweed. And the reason we want to get stickweed is it's going to give us sticky resin, which is what we get from our rubber trees over there. And if I can get stickweed, we don't need those anymore. So that's kind of what I'm hoping to get. But it's something that's going to take a potentially long time because we're basically playing a game of chance with that, but we will get it eventually. However, we can increase our odds by following this kind of guide here. Now, we don't have these right here, but if we keep scrolling, we eventually have a bit better of an option. And let's see if we can find it. This one right here. So this one's reed, which is just sugar cane, and this one's called hemp. Now, we don't have hemp yet, but if we go to here, you can see that the best way to get hemp is by breeding together vines and pumpkins. So that's what I want to try and do with this kind of area right here. So that's what we're going to try to do. So what you do is you just put down your pumpkin seeds here, and you put your vines on this side, and you have to wait for these to fully grow, or at least get to at least the last stage, the second to last stage. So either for this one you want to get the 3 out of 4, 4 out of 4. This one you wanted to get maybe 2 out of 3 to 3 out of 3, and then you want to put a double crop stick in the middle. So for now, we're not going to do anything. We're just going to wait for these to grow. And I'll just do as many as I can in this area for now. So we'll put a vine here, we'll put a pumpkin here, vine here, pumpkin here. Order doesn't really matter. And we'll just try and maximize our opportunities here of getting hemp, and then eventually, once we can get enough hemp, I can try and get some stickweed from that potentially by crossbreeding this with the sugarcane we have. So we'll keep going along like this. And we'll get that one right there. Few more to go. It does get a little bit cramped in here with these fences, but it's okay. And let's get this one and that one, and then this one and this one. Now, the good news with these is they do tend to grow fairly quickly, so let's go check these over here. Now, this one, I can already tell what that is. That's one of those right there, so we didn't get the actual seed from that one, though. But just put the double crop stick back. And looks like actually I can tell what these are as well. These are carrots. These are also carrots. As you can see, we just got a few carrots. And we'll just put the crop sticks in here as well. Looks like, I'm not sure what that one is. This one's definitely carrots though. Not sure what that is. That's the really strange one over there. Oh, this one is cocoa right here. So, there we go. We got some cocoa beans from that. Now, another thing I should point out, we can't see this directly just yet. There's a weed right there, so let's get rid of that. But you can't see this directly just yet, but there are actual stats on these crops as well to keep in mind. We won't be able to actually directly see these until a little bit later, but by breeding these together, we are actually getting better stats, I think, on the crop that we breed. So the one in the middle will have some better stats than the ones around it. So that is something we want to keep in mind as well. So let's make sure we've got this taken care of here. And, ooh, I'm not really sure what this one is, but it still seems to be growing. I think we're good there. So these are going to continue to grow, and they don't take too long. As you can see, these are already this size 2. Some of these have different sizes, so they're not the same. As example, this one has 3 different sizes. This one has 4. I think wheat has 7 sizes, so some of them have quite a few sizes. So let's finally go ahead and make that plant lens, because I want to see what we've got in some of these areas over here, because there seems to be quite a few interesting crops we've got. So let's finally go ahead and see if we can get that plant lens. Head back over to the base. fact, we'll probably dump off... Yeah, let's dump off this stuff. We don't need those carrots right now. Probably don't need the vines either. I did have to go out into the jungle and shear down some vines to get those the first time round. Now, I will point out also, you do need quite a bit of crop sticks for this, so I had prepared ahead of time. We've got quite a few. I've got a little drawer out there filled with a bit more. So that is something else you do need to keep in mind when you're doing this. You will go through crop sticks by quite a bit. So let's finally make that plant lens here, which we do need to make the glass lens. And we need a diamond, which we do have quite a few of. I did mine for some. So let's see. There's the glass lens. And now we just make the plant lens. Oh, you have to use sticks for this. You can't use bamboo. Oh, that's interesting. Well, that's not really an issue for me. I mostly use bamboo for sticks because I just think it's easier. Allows me to use the actual wood for, you know, other things. I don't have to turn it into sticks. But anyways, there we go. There's the plant lens. And this is going to help us to identify our crops quite a bit better. So, I could probably go ahead and claim that. Oh, we can claim this one too. 8 glowstone. That's quite tempting. Yeah, let's take it. Why not? Then this one, we get zomplant seeds. Okay, why not? Let's dump these items off, though. Not sure what we'll do with that yet, but keep that in there. And let's throw those coins away as well, because I don't want our inventory to get too cluttered here. Alright, so let's go test this kind of thing out right now, this plant lens. So as you can see, these are starting to grow now. Let's quickly check and see. So yeah, this one's already fully grown. This is a 3 to 4. So in fact, what we can just do is we can, you know, kind of put the double crop stick on this one now. So yeah, I just try and make sure they're at least the second to last growth stage before I do that. So this one's ready to go. Looks like most of these are going to be ready to go by now. I'll just do it on all of them. Well, we're going to run out. But I've got a few in here, actually, so that's alright. Yeah, we've got quite a few left. 60 still. So yeah, what we'll do is I'll just put all of these around. Probably safe to do that by now. Again, the key thing here is you just want to keep an eye on these things. You want to keep an eye on weeds. Now, there is a weeding trowel, and I was hoping we were going to be able to make that today. However, you need rubber for that, and we don't have rubber. You do need steel as well, but we actually have a little bit from some chests we found. But either way, though, we don't have rubber, so we can't make this. This would make it easier to remove weeds, but we don't have it yet, so we can't do that. But anyways, we can finally take a peek at this. So with the plant lens, what we should be able to do is just right-click on a crop, and we'll find out what it is. So let's see what this one is. So this is a melon. So it tells you right there. And then it updates the little thing here in the bottom right, and you can see its stats now. So you can see that this is a melon, a tier 2 crop, and it's max size now. So let's see what else we've got. This one's a weed. Don't care about that. This one here, let's see. This is carrots. We've got some wheat in this one. Let's see what this one is. This is a plumbilia. So this is a tier 6 one. Now this is interesting right here. This one is only size 3 or 4, but as you can see, we cannot grow this one further, and that's probably because it needs some sort of a special requirement to continue growing, so we can actually find out what that is, I think, if we look it up. Let's see. Plumbilia. So if we press Control for extra info, it requires a lead ore or block of lead as soil block to reach full growth. So for this one, we need some sort of a lead block. We don't have that, so I'll probably just left-click it. We don't really have any way of doing anything with that right now. So let's take a look at this one. This one right here is a reed, so just sugar cane. This one, well, we already know what that is. That's cocoa. Nothing on that one. Let's see what this one is here. This is a cucumber. Okay, let's see what we get. So we did get something from that. We got a cucumber from GregTech. So that's a new food right there we can eat. In fact, let's eat it right now. So yeah, there we go. Alright, so we got this one here. Let's see what that is. This is a melon again. Alright, so this is the really strange one here. It makes the really horrible noise. In fact, I'll give you a sound warning right now. I'll let you hear it. Yeah, quite a terrifying noise. So let's see what this one is. So this is a goldfish plant. Maximum size. So let's see if we can get it. We did. We did get it, and looks like we got a goldfish. So that's something we got. This is cocoa. Let's take that one. Why not? Check that one. In fact, actually, we need to put our crop sticks back on. You don't want to forget to do that, because they won't breed unless you have the double crop sticks. So don't forget to do that. Let's see. Did we check this one yet? No. This is a glow shroom. Okay, so we got that one. Now, your best chance of getting these seed bags is when they're fully grown, at least for right now with left click. If you do it beforehand, you almost never get it. So this is definitely wheat, but we didn't actually get that one. It's not guaranteed even if it is fully grown though. So do keep that in mind too. It's still a bit of a chance. So that should be all of that. So let's go store all of these away here, all these seeds for now. We got a goldfish there. So let's see if we've got anything in this one. So here we go. This is a pumpkin. We don't care about that, so I'll just delete that. This is also a pumpkin. Now this is something right here. This is a reed. We did actually still get that one, even though it wasn't fully grown. This one is a weed. In fact, I once again forgot to put the double crop sticks. Looks like nothing else is grown. Oh no, we got one here. This is an onion, so that's something different. We haven't got that one before. This one here is a wheat, so yeah. So we can just go around, you know, kind of watch these. We don't need these, I don't think. We don't need wheat or carrots. What we're really looking for is unique stuff, but as you can see, the number of crop sticks we're going through does drop quite a bit. Ooh, let's see what this one is. This is a reed. And the reason I'm so interested in that, it does look like sugarcane, but when you actually get stickweed, it does look like that initially, so it can trick you a bit. So that's why I'm still interested in when it looks like that. And yeah, so I think that's pretty much all of this stuff here. So yeah, I think that's a good little introduction there to, you know, crop breeding. So hopefully at some point soon I'll be able to get to the stickweed and we'll be able to mass produce those seeds so we don't need those trees anymore, because we will need sticky resin in the future. And yeah, so this is quite a manual process. You do quite a few things yourself here. And yeah, I'm just going to have to keep, you know, chucking away at it, keep working away at it, keep getting some seeds, see what else we can get. We've already gotten some interesting stuff, you know, like this goldfish thing. Pretty interesting. So yeah, so I think we're going to leave that one there. So I hope you enjoyed this one, and I'll see you again. Bye for now.